Hello everybody, it's Foxy speaking. Hello, hello. And in this video, this is a special message of luck to the O'Connor family, and there's a very good reason why I am doing it. On St. Patrick's Day, the 17th of March 2021 marked an extremely exciting moment. The Irish centenarian Michael O'Connor just received his second dosage, meaning he's been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. That's the handsome centenarian Michael O'Connor, who is 107 years of age. He'll be turning 108 in October of 2021 this year. And isn't it just so exciting? And it's just absolutely elating and wonderful that he's now been, having been fully vaccinated against COVID. And it's been it has to have an exciting mark on Irish history, since he's now been fully inoculated against COVID, having all of his dosages of the inoculating COVID vaccinations. And he is full of hope and energy since having the vaccines. And I'm sure his two faithful dogs, Rua and Fitzy, have pricked their ears in excitement for their faithful owner. And I'm sure his family have too. And also this video is also specifically for his family as well as for Michael O'Connor himself. At 107, he's still doing extremely well, I do say. Still living in his own home, still tended his own garden, has his dogs to walk. Still in excellent health for a man his age, still steadily and rightly agile, and he impressively was still driving when he was 103. He only stopped driving when he was 104, after 87 years of wonderful driving, and wanted to keep his unblemished history safe, so that was why he stopped driving, and he didn't want to have a bad history on the road. So that was his rightful reason to give up driving. And I just can't say how proud I am of the man. He's a wonderful guy. Certainly a wonderful gentleman, Michael O'Connor is, and I'm just so proud of him following his vaccinations against COVID. I'm just so proud of him. I really am. I'm so proud of the Irishman. I really am. He's lived through many things in Irish history. He can remember World War I, not the beginning of it, but the middle of it, and to the end. He even had Spanish flu himself and wasn't expected to live past the age of 6, believe it or not, which he contracted when he was about 5, and eventually recovered after months being bedridden. The Irish Civil War he survived, the Black and Tans period, World War II. Oh my goodness, he survived a number of stuff in his lifetime. My gracious! And now he survived the COVID mess. Yes, he survived many things. The financial crisis of 2008, which was actually wonderful things. And he was a former wonderful radio officer, at first with the Sea Marines, and for the rest of his life in aviation, when aviation became much more popular. After the war ended and I think Dave and Sally would be probably quite excited to know this or learn about this, but he even took a Christmas cruise as a very young man. Excitingly enough, he took a Christmas cruise once. Back in 1937 he took it. For Christmas of 1937, shortly before the new year of 1938. So that was over 80 years ago. And after the war ended in 1945, the very year World War II ended, he met and married his wife, Joan. Both marrying in 1945, the couple had 5 children, born between the very late 1940s to the very early 1960s. So they'd be in their late 50s to early 70s now, his children, all 5 of them. He has 5 children, and I think he's got about 10 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. Remaining married to his wife Joan, he retiring in 1980. He didn't retire early, he kept going till he was nearly 67. Retiring in 1980, so he's been retired now for over 40 years. And the births of his grandchildren were the exciting moments of his life, and great-grandchildren. Remaining married to his wife Joan until she very sadly died in 2008. I always thought he lost his wife at some point in the early 21st century, but it turned out she went in the late 2000s, so later than I thought. But it's good I found out, because I assumed she went in 2005 before, but no, very sadly, she died in 2008. It was sad for Michael O'Connor, but of course, he's okay though. I mean, obviously, he misses her, but he's really a man that he even still at 107, nearly 108, intends to live life to the absolute fullest, like my friend, you know. So that was sad news when his wife died. Obviously, it does very sadly happen. You lose your spouse over time, particularly after a long marriage. Certainly if it's a 70-year marriage, but he wasn't married 70 years. He was married for 63 years, you know. He celebrated his 100th in 2013 of October, 105th in October 2018, and I think he's very much intending to celebrate his 108th, 109th, and to be honest with you, it would not surprise me if I found out he'd lived to see his 110th and 112th birthdays, and even still living in his own home at that point. It would not surprise me in the slightest. It would surprise me very, very little. I think he's very much got the health to do it. And I don't know if I should share this, but Michael O'Connor, I think he's probably one of the most handsome and healthiest centenarians I'd ever seen, looking at a picture of him and actually seeing him on video. He appeared in 2015, when he was then 101, going on for 102, he appeared in an Irish documentary called Older Than Ireland. You can get the DVD, if you search up Older Than Ireland, you can get its DVD on Amazon, or you can watch the trailer of it on YouTube. You know, for those of you who are big movie buffs or very keen on films and cinema and such, you can look up Older Than Ireland on Amazon, and then you'll be able to buy the DVD depending on where you live in the world, you know. And he has still even at 107, he is amazing for a man his age. You would never believe that. For 107, I would have thought, nearly 108, I would have thought he was about 80, 82 at the very oldest, instead of 107. And I personally think he looks about 75 instead of 107. Very handsome man for his age, I do say. Handsome man for his age. A little bit of a head of weight on him, but I wouldn't consider him as painfully overweight or anything. But he's more sturdily built compared to many elderly people in theory, but there are sturdily built elderly people around the world, as we know. And Michael O'Connor, I should think, is definitely one of them. I remembered one of my friends, I sent the picture to her, and she was like, "He's a bit fat for an old man." I was like, oh my goodness. I hope no one has ever said that to him. Oof, I hope not. Never mind. No, but Michael O'Connor. Oh dear, Michael O'Connor himself. It's very hard to believe that he's the age he is, and I'm just so proud of him following his vaccination his complete vaccination against COVID-19. And it would surprise me little if I heard he'd lived to see his 112th birthday. It really would surprise me little. Wonderful man. But, okay. Oh, sorry about that, but, special blessings and congratulations to the very man himself, Michael O'Connor. There will be photos of Michael O'Connor himself at the end of the video for those of you that want to see it. I mean, obviously there will be at the end, so that those of you can see, and so those of you who want to share your thoughts on what you thought of him when seeing the pictures of him. But I mean, before the video's ended, there will be pictures of him. Sorry to repeat, and I just can't say how proud I am of Michael O'Connor. I'm really so proud of him. And thanks so much indeed for watching, everybody. And I shall certainly see you in the very next video. Bye-bye, everybody. From your friend Foxy. Another time.